Hello and welcome back to the beltless bot maze world. So let's just recap. We are trying to put together a military build, and I think we've basically built it. Military ended up being spread across multiple sub-builds. We have something to make bricks. So we're heavily relying upon Bob's adjustable inserters to make these really quite crazy builds. I don't pretend they're anything other than crazy. After bricks, we have a red ammo build. So we do steel smelting here at the bottom, iron to steel, into the red ammo. The red ammo takes copper. We actually need 2 copper furnaces to keep this going. So one of the copper furnaces is the other side of the tracks, feeds into this, pulls from here, sorry, and they both feed into here. Then we have ammo build, yellow ammo, and that's being supplied by 2 iron smelters. So this is really weird. And we bring in 2 different trains to the same station. One is bringing in copper ore, although there seems to be a fault with this. I think there's a missing wire. Yeah, we'll go fix that. Let's go fix that. There's a missing wire. Just check I don't get run over by a train. Yeah, I didn't get run over by a train. Actually, we can look at these in person since I've run over here. Okay, so this is permanently on because there should be a wire running from here to this ore box. That's it. Now that's off. So we're all good. Awesome. So the way these work is... and there's no wire from here to here. Wires everywhere. So what we have is inserters which are going to pull from or empty into a train, attached by wires to the train counter widget. The train counter widget, when it is pulling in a train, presents as a signal one of the things that the train schedule is labeled with. So the first label I'm doing for each train schedule is the material. The second one is either a train carriage if it's empty, or an assembler or mining drill, whatever the appropriate signal is if it's full. The other way around. Anyway, forget that. We only need to talk about the first of the pair of signals because the first signal says what is in the train. So then what I can do is set these inserters to be active only when the train is for that material. So that appears to be working, although obviously I mucked up that cabling. And it's one of those things where I'm probably going to get it wrong quite frequently because it involves me remembering to set up quite a few things. Anyway, let's head back over here. Now, it was pointed out to me that these 2 are on the same signal. This should be you. Thank you very much, Sandman. And we can finish wiring all this up. Okay, so I don't know if I've actually wired these in to the counter. Yes, I had. All right. So I think we're all good here. So then we have a wire coming out of the counter to these arms so that they know what. And these are only active when it is ammo. And these are only active when it's brick. So I think that's all done correctly now. Good. And let's have a bit more of a zoom out. So we're just doing military science. The base has a shop here that's making all the basic stuff, and it's got a little bit of science that's just chugging through getting some things done, but it's not like seriously impressive. We've got lots of solar to keep our factory working. We have a little bit of steam power, although increasingly we don't need that. And then we have some we have some... We're missing some... Right. Sorry, we're missing construction here because I wasn't paying attention when I built it. So where can I put this? I think if we get rid of those 4, then I can put that in there and it should be okay. All right, so that will get built. So these are capacitors. They're going to charge up from our solar and help us with nighttime power. We've got this area here, which is mostly being mined just to go back to the shop. I had to, with these buffer chests, provide a pull on copper and iron. Sorry, on coal and iron, because that we had these drills mixed on copper were backing up because the copper was all getting consumed and the iron and coal was not. But that seems to be behaving now. This area makes solar panels. It also makes bricks for walls. And it makes a few other things we need here and there. All right, so it's a sort of secondary foundry. This whole thing hopefully will go away soon and we'll start filling up from the far end with some sort of manufacturing. That's the intention. This whole area here, so it's supposed to come in with trains, fill up stuff, then fuel the factory. In practice, I have a mix of trains which are 2 long, 4 long, coming from more than one site. So this is a stone train here. We have a stone train trying to empty, which can't empty quick enough. And so that's backing everything up. Anyway, in a minute, maybe this stone train will empty out, which will allow the short stone train to come in, and then it'll all unblock again. It's not a perfect solution. It's quite high up on the list of things I want to redo. Mining outposts look pretty much like this. We have trains, bots, and this is an isolated robot network. So you can see there's 2 different networks bridged here. These trains are on logistics supply network, so they are requesting empty ore trains. The empty ore train comes in, gets filled up, then it parks in the full ore train stacker here and then gets taken off to be used. So we have an empty train stacker and a full train stacker. All right, so we now have a whole load of new materials. We've got brick, we've got red ammo, we've got grey science. So I think bricks are generally useful for stuff. We're going to use those for ourselves for making walls, but we're also going to use them. We're also going to oh, what's going on here? This train, copper, it's obviously required somewhere. So it's also going to be used for another science for making furnaces. Is that going? Hopefully it's going somewhere sensible. You can see the trains are just looping around doing useful things. So I think what we're going to do is put in a stacker for grey science, then we'll put in a stacker for brick, and I'm in 2 minds about whether to do a stacker for ammo or not here, or if I should put them somewhere else. We are at some point going to need another collection of stackers, so maybe I should be thinking more about where the next stackers go. So I need a full one and an empty one, ideally on a little circle. Unfortunately, we've used up this circle for green science. So I want it down here for now. So I think maybe I'll just put the stackers here and here. It's not ideal, but it will probably do the job. I think all this may be wired correctly. So the best way to find out is to start bringing in all the trains, isn't it? Right, so that's my personal train. And I'd like to bring that into here so that I can catch it. All right, so let's start setting this up. Coal. So this is set up to request coal. Now, presumably the reason we don't have it is because there's no sourcing priority for coal. No, there is. There's a coal full, coal empty. So coal cargo for full. So then this should be set up coal, cargo. Yeah. So is a train on the way? It reckons there's a train on the way for something. Ah, hang on. We have coal. So it has been delivered. That's fine. Right. Iron has been delivered. So it is the stone bricks and the grey science, which aren't currently dealt with. So let's hide that menu. Alright, so the first one we're going to deal with is grey science. So I'm going to park here for now. And this is all set up with rail network that goes around the outside of each cell of the maze, which is brave, I think is the best way to describe it. Alright, so this is the green science stop. That's the red science stop. Good. So this can be empty item equals military science pack. Good. And I kind of want to copy this train, but without schedules. Okay, so let's put that down there. In fact, I'll put another one there as well. I'm going to keep using these for science for now. So we've got red, green, grey, purple, gold. So that will work. All right. And then these are all ore type things. So we'll wait for these to come in. But this is empty science pack. Can I copy? Let's see. So I just want to see if I can actually copy that science pack in the name. All right. Yeah, I can. Good. All right, try not to get run over. It's a distinct possibility playing with rail tracks. Good, these trains have shown up. I'm a big fan of being able to blueprint trains. And I've got a bit of coal here. So the schedule on this, instead of being empty green and full green, it's going to be empty grey, circuit condition, full grey, circuit condition. That's done. All right, so I really do have a traffic jam, don't I? And what is the root cause of this traffic jam? It's this stone not being emptied fast enough. Because presumably there just is not much of a draw on stone. So I kind of only want this to be active when I can empty a stone train. Alright, I think I'm going to have to fix this in person. It looks like too much of a mess to fix remotely. In the meantime, let's pull up this solar with this. And we'll put the other park here. It's probably not the best place for it, but it will do. Okay, then I want to have an empty and a full stacker here. Do I have a blueprint for stackers? No, I don't. So I think, let's see if I can make a blueprint for a stacker. We will hold down Shift because I need to do some editing. All right. Okay. So I want entities. I do not want station names. So naming it supply stacker, and I'm going to give it the icon of a supply train stop. I'm not sure how well this will blueprint down, but it's worth a try, isn't it? Okay, so let's see if that will go there. Okay, we've got some rail signal issues. Is it just the one? Okay, I think it's just this. I think there is a chain signal up there. There we go. And I think supply stacker I should stick into my rail book, otherwise it will get lost. Good. All right, let's put this one there. And again, I need to take that out. Okay, big electric pole is in the way. Okay, there's something going on here with that power pole, I think. There we go. All right. So these blueprints are not quite perfect. I'm very aware of that. Okay, so if my rail was working, I'd be able to take my train down to there. We'll see how far I get. So I can't get very far at all. Right, so let's unjam it the old-fashioned way, which is just to send this on its merry way. So then everything should begin to move. Yeah, everything's beginning to move. Okay, obviously not moving that well. Do I run down? So there's two options for this. I can either put all the trains on a wait timer, or I can enable disable stations. The thing is, okay, I think I'm just going to add a wait condition to all the trains. Yeah, I think this is the way forward. It's not good, but this is a temporary fix until we get... Okay, did I manage to click on that? Good. And then where is the stone train that was causing all the trouble in the first place? It'll have gone to here to fill up with stone, presumably. Yeah. Okay, so that should have solved that problem. Right, so now I want to go back. It's because I want to start designing these things. So that's a good place to start, I think. And what are we waiting for now? All right, I'm behind a copper train. Why can this not get in? Is it a signaling problem? Right, put in an extra signal here, so something should come along and build that in a moment. So this, we've got a red signal there. Why is that red? I don't understand why this signal is red. Oh. Because this train is in here and this train is sticking out the back because this signal should never have existed. Okay, so you go away. Alright, then we get rid of that signal. This signal becomes a full signal. Okay, and that should help things. What a mess. Good, so now we're going to add in 2 more stations here. So this will be right, and stone brick. Good. And let's get some trains down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should get us going. Right, so this is our first stone bricks. Then this is I can never remember the name of this. Piercing ammo. Piercing round. I wish there was a GUI for these things. Piercing rounds magazine. Okay. And for the sake of not getting those names wrong again, I'm going to paste this over up here and replace empty with full. Good. So then I should be able to set up the schedule for the bricks and the schedule for the piercing ammo. I'm getting pauses. I think possibly the battery for my wireless keyboard is running a bit low. All right, so this is definitely not the right schedule here. Okay, so we want empty brick, circuit condition, full brick, circuit condition. Okay, and then for this one, we want empty rounds, circuit condition, full rounds, circuit condition. Okay, and then I'm actually going to sit in this one because I want to see if it works. Okay, so ooh, something's very wrong here. These aren't filling up, so I must have missed a request. Okay, so Is this anywhere near being full? Probably not, because it's such huge capacity. Let's have a look. So, is this trying to call in... Oh, yes, it is trying to... No, it's not. It's not trying to call in a train. I think I'm going to change the threshold on this to something much smaller. Okay. Let's hop out of that. Can I do this one? So, is there a full train of red ammo? Okay, we currently have 912, which is nowhere near what we need. That's not even one row. Okay, so this is all a bit premature. This isn't going to happen for a while. Let's go fix those two snafus. So we need to fix the problem with the stone request and the problem with the stone brick size. Alright, so the stone request problem down there somewhere. And we also need to set up schedules. Okay, we're going to define some schedules. So we're going to have a schedule bricks and then an assembly machine to signify manufacturing, and in fact I think smelting, because it does smelt them. Right, and that is going to go to brick empty. Okay, and then there'll be another schedule which is brick cargo wagon, which is full brick. Great. So then the empty one we need to edit, because I don't want them to leave until they're full. And in fact, do I want it to be full? See, bricks is stacking so high that if I wait for the bricks to be ready, everything else is just going to run out. So not sure is the answer. Right. That's fixed there. Let's get to here, because I'm not quite sure what we want to do with this. Right, the issue is I've got Factorio installed, which is a mod which gives you... Oh, it's nearly full actually, so I'm... Okay. It'll sort itself out, I think. I was stressing because Factorio adds really big stack size for flooring, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so how far are we to this being full? Not very. Okay. Well, I think we're just going to have to wait. Okay, what's the next thing we need to build? We've got full and empty firearms. We've done grey science. The next science to do is blue. So let's find somewhere we could do blue science. I think we could start off over here somewhere, couldn't we? Now, we have pulled up some solar. So let's put down some more solar. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That'll do. That's more than compensated for what we've been doing. All right, we're in a mess, so let's clear all this out. I don't know why I hadn't cleared this out before, to be honest. May as well start at the top and work down. So at some point we'll start mining this out, but we don't need to right now, so there's no need to set it all up. I'm really stressing my bots, so perhaps they'll now be a bit rubbish at helping us build out our site, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so this is going to be our blue science. And just to remind ourselves, the recipe for blue science is sulfur red circuits and engine units. Okay, so the first of those I'd like to look at is engine units, but we'll work out some ratios first. So we've been sort of ratioing everything against 8 red science machines. So we'll do the same again, and I've got a feeling that the rate for 8 science machines is 90, but we're running on 72 items per minute. I wonder if we've got an issue with 9 machines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, per machine is 9. 72. Okay. So we're going to do the same. We're going to aim for roughly the same thing. So this is going to end up being quite a few machines, I think. So we're going to probably need more than 2 builds of yellow. I've got a feeling it might be double, but we'll check. 30. So it is. It's more than double. So that's 60. Whoop. $75. So that's our build, right? Because we're going to be doing it in 4s. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 builds. Wowzers. All right. So for one build, we need some engines. And it's going to be some weird ratio. Okay. So we can make engines in 4s. So this is 2 more machines than we need. So this is 0.6 more than we need. So if I have one engine build for each pair of yellow builds, that works. And I'm wondering how much I should do direct insert. Don't know. Right, then we're going to need some red circuits. Three. Well, that's a rubbish ratio, isn't it? And we need some sulfur. That's going to be a tiny amount, so we'll bring in the sulfur definitely by train. So I think the first thing to do is to come up with an engine build, a 4 factory engine build, which we can stamp down at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. All right, so let's clear all this out, because I think I'm going to make this whole end here into engines. They're quite slow to make, so may need more than one train to buffer them up in a requester. I'm not sure. We'll work that out. And then the red circuit build I am dreading. So let's figure out what we need for an engine build. It's entirely iron based from what I remember. So, engines. I've got some ore, yeah. So the engines themselves need some steel plates, some iron gear wheels, and some pipe. Now, there are choices here. I could have separate gear and pipe builds. So let's make that gear, make that pipe. Okay, so clearly that's far too many gears and pipes for this one engine machine. Goes without saying. Then we need some iron smelting to keep these going. And I expect one smelter might be enough for all of this. But then we also need steel. Okay, so let's, for the sake of being able to do sums, let's put the steel over this side. So, yeah, this is an excess of steel, so that's fine. That will work. This here, where we're making pipes and gears. All right. So this requires 9 pipes a minute and 4.5 gears per minute. Gears take 2 plates each. So that's 9 plates a minute for the gear. Pipes take 1, so that's 9 a minute for the pipe. So that's a total of 18 plate a minute to keep those 2 machines running. This one smelter produces 37 per minute. So that's way more. Okay. We're only using 0.4 of this. So I think we could do the whole thing off one iron smelter. If we could do an iron into steel and also into these 2 machines. And get it into here, that would work. Now the question would be, how on earth do we get those products into the engine? This is the only thing that needs an input. So let's start sketching it. So I need to go from there to there to there. I also need to go from there to there. I need to go from there to there. Okay. Then I need to pick up from the gears, put that into the engine. This one is straightforward. This one is straightforward. So this does actually work. Let's double check the numbers on this. So it needs 2 pipe, it needs 1 gear, 1 steel. The pipe is the closest one. I think this is our build. Now, is there anything I should do to tidy it up? Well, we'll see when we try and fit it between train tracks. But I'm reasonably happy with that. Do we have any useful rulers? Okay, so I want to come in and out this way. And this is going to be one that requests in iron. We have a few of those dotted around. Okay. So you... request in iron. Alright, I do not want station names. Good. So that could go there. Okay, make our visual up here, I think. Okay, so this is slightly non-standard. All right, so let's be more careful about this. I want this one back. We'll have 3 of those. Pick up, drop there. That's straight through. That one, pick off, drop there. Don't need these. Good. Then we definitely need a wire connecting this to this. Right, so that's going to be our first layer of our design. So that could go there. All right. I've got a feeling that this might be the way forward. All right, so from there to a box, in fact, we'll get away with one of these, and then into the train to load. Now, is that where we want it? It's not. So we need to gain or lose a tile somewhere. And I think given that we're not going to be able to fit more than one of these builds between 2 roboports, I will just lose a tile. All right. There. Is that correct? No. Why didn't I? Again, this is something where I should have all the blueprints, but I haven't for reasons of being daft. Okay, so this, I think, is our engines build. Let's take one of those. Go there. Then we'll need something a bit like this here. Although clearly this won't be steel, this will be engines. Okay, and it's greater than Do engines stack in 200s or 100s? Don't know, to be honest. Let's find out using Google. So engine unit is the full name. And the stack size is 50. Okay. So 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1000, 1500, 2000. Awesome. Then we need a wire. So that's all set up, I think. Now for power poles. Oh, we're missing a couple of things. That's going to pick up from there, drop from there. Good. Right. We'll set those names in a moment. And then we'll power everything up. Now, I probably could have moved this over, but life is short. I like that. So that's 1 build, 2 builds, 3 builds, 4 builds. I think we're already calling in iron. Let's get this set up just so the thing can unload. And I'm going to copy this and paste this to set the insert orientations. There we go. Okay, so this is requesting in an iron train. Oh, and it doesn't have a schedule set yet. That's pretty awesome. Don't know where they're flying in from. Right, what else is there to set up here? Oh, we'll need to set up a train supply manager for this. All right. And I don't really want to bring this in until the build has been built. However, I would like to make several of these builds. So where would I copy from to? Oh, we haven't set up our signaling correctly. All right, let's do that. So we definitely need a signal there and there. There and there. And we need one there. And then that signal needs to go. So we need at least 5 of these builds. Let's take that. I'm going to take out all the big poles from the build. And see how well this stamps down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am pretty pleased with that. Okay. That possibly will work, possibly won't. Yep, that's going to work. And then I'll just double check signaling everywhere else is not crazy. So that's a chain signal. We needed a chain there. Well, maybe that will work. It's possible. I like the potential hope. So this is completely built. We can now set schedules. So this is going to be iron ore cargo. There's already a train on the way. And this is going to be the schedule. Engines. And assembler. Good. And just check here when I have more than 2,000. Yep. So that I think is the correct schedule. My train now is probably in the way, so let's move that. Oh, moved it to the wrong place. Alright. Then move me out the way, because I need to set station names. So this is going to be called... Try again. Item equals engine unit. Okay. Now, I was told there's a proper naming scheme for these things. So I'm trying this pattern out. So engine unit 1 ore. If I copy all of this and I paste it here. No, the names clash. All right, so let's try that again. Instead, let's call it engine ore 1. All right, so if I do that, does this then work? So it complains there's a duplicate name, but it's named it to 02. Okay, so I'm just going to have to rename all my stations to follow the naming convention. All right. So now I should be able to take this pair force click, like some sort of Factorio Jedi. Okay, so they're now all named correctly. Good. Now, then the next thing is the schedules. So I've copied that schedule. This has no priority schema. If I force click, it sets it. But I can't copy paste generically to set it. I have to go through them individually, which is a bit of a pain. Let's use those words. Okay, and then let's do the same for the engine schedule. So copy, force paste, and we'll do that over each one. And then I'll check that the bottom one is set correctly. Yep, that is set correctly, and this is set correctly. So it is possible that we now have our engine build done, which is pretty cool. So the next build we need is a red circuit build. And we need 5 lots of 3 is 15. However, 16 would be 5 lots of 4, which I prefer. So I need room for 4 engine builds. And where's our next dead end, which looks about the right size? I wonder. I like building in dead ends. How about here? Yeah, let's head off over there. All right, and in the meantime, we can retire this. I'm going to keep, and we can retire. No, let's leave that. Okay, and then ahead of time, we are going to here. So all of this can go. Good, and then we can get rid of all our solar. Remember, I put down a load of solar. And let's start thinking about red circuit. So red circuit requires green circuits and plastic. And I just spotted something here. This is detritus left over from a border wall, so that can all go. And that rock can go just on principle. Good. Okay, this has all been cleared out for me. So, to make red circuits, I need green circuits, I need copper coils, and plastic. So what of that do I make locally, and what do I make elsewhere? So, hopefully we're going to have 4 red circuit machines. Okay. So, green circuit machine. Plastic. Do I have... Good. Chemical plants are on the way. Okay, so 1 green circuit machine is enough to power all of these. And I guess the question is this a big enough of a... Is this out of ratio far enough that I don't want to do direct insert? Okay, so for the whole thing, we're now 1 machine down on coils. However, if we did 2 of them, we'd be about right for coils, because we're not running the green circuit machine anything like full speed. Okay. So what if we had something like this? So this is green circuit. This is red circuit. We feed there, and there, and there. Then we have 2 red circuit machines feeding into a single carriage. Then it's easy enough to... Now, is this enough smelting? I may have to do some maths to work that out. This may be the point at which we need to invest... Oh, what's going on here? Okay, so it's just this end here, but that's going to continue being a problem until we clear this. Right, so let's put some of this in and do some maths. All right, so we're clearly way under on smelting, but does it matter? So we're using 1/3 of our yeah, we need to make 30 green circuits. We're producing 90, so we're running that at 1/3 speed. For every green craft, we need 1 plate. We are producing 37 plate. We would need to produce 90 to keep that running at full speed, but we're running at 1/3, so 30 is sufficient. So we've got enough iron plate. Let's look at the copper plate. So we need 180 coil. If we were to keep the green circuit going at full speed, but we're not keeping it going at full speed. So I think this is sufficient. I think this will actually run this little unit at full speed. Like that and that. Then we have 2 of these feeding into a single box. So I think that's all correct. And then we'll have to be a bit careful how we line this up on the train carriage so that we have 6 stack inserters. Okay, they will all need wiring together so that we can select which box we fill. Okay, so these need to be selected for copper ore. And I have to do these individually because there's no way to copy just the activation rules. Okay, these need to be done for iron. Good. Then we'll need an output. Let's just double check I've not bungled the rail. Okay, so we're 1 off on the rail this side, and we're 1 off this side, so yeah, it is correct. So that's it. Let's put some power. Okay, I think for symmetry we'll move that up 1. So that is our red circuit build. Now, it's not quite finished, right? So we've got circuits and coils. So this coil machine is feeding both of those. This green circuit machine isn't. That's all right, that goes around. It's not the most beautiful of things, but it will do. And then we will need to feed in plastic as the remaining thing from the other side. And then I guess it's a question of how big this build is, whether we do the plastic here or elsewhere. Let's find out. Okay, let's start trimming out stuff we definitely don't need. And put down some of the stuff we definitely do. Good. So I can put this stop down. That gives us markers. Let's pick this up. So then I can line up 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And I guess then that puts some rail here. There we go. Okay, so to make this work, we need plastic. And how big are... Basically, I'm wondering, is there room to bring in another rail? Yes, there is. So if we needed to, we can bring in another rail that side. So, plastic requires two things. It needs coal and petroleum. I'm pretty confident that one plastic machine will deal with both of these. So can I... The problem is we need to unload petroleum with a pump. Like this. Okay, so can I take this over to the side? And how big is a fluid tank? Don't know. Let's blueprint one in while we're waiting. Okay, so that does fit in the gap. Okay, so then I need something a bit like that to a box for the coal. Good. Then I need to get the coal into the plastic machine. That's fine. We can do that with a bendy inserter. And a blue one will be fine. Okay, that's going to drop there. That's going to drop there. This is plastic. Then this needs to get plastic into these machines. So I think the best way is to push it over into a box, cap the box to one stack. Yep. Good. Feel better when they're symmetric. I don't know if there's any kind of performance issues, to be honest. Let's put that to there. Feels silly when they're ridiculously long. Right, then we can fill like that. So that's going to pick up from down there. That's going to pick up from there. So that is a build. Then we need power. Slightly annoying, we have to do a kink, but you know, kinks are what they are. 1. 2. 3. 4. In fact, let's copy this because there's several things going on. There we go. That's freaking awesome. So that is a red circuit build. Okay, so what do we need to make this work? iron ore is already coming in. So is the copper ore. We need to set up a train station which does dual iron copper. Luckily we have a few of those on the map, so let's go copy paste an existing solution. Alright, so that's not one. Green potions, they're iron copper. Good. Let's grab that. Put it there, because I want to get rid of station names. Alright. Good. Then I can wire this copper to copper and iron to iron, and I can wire all of these inserters to that. Then I need a requester here and here. Let's start setting names. So this is okay, Advanced Processing Unit clearly is not the name for a red circuit. Advanced Circuit, maybe? Yeah, there we are. Advanced Circuit. Copper and iron. 01. Good. Paste that in there, and we're just going to trim off and 01 again. There. Okay, so this is iron copper item equals coal, fluid equals petroleum gas. Got it right. Okay, let's have a look on the map. So this is our build number 1, and of course I've stuck it right in the middle of here. I guess it doesn't actually matter where number 1 is. It would have just been nice if number 1 was at the top. Okay, so I need at least 4 of these builds. Let's set up the rest of the circuitry magics. So we have a slight problem here in that I don't really want this to run dry before we call in a train. So I would have ideally liked a second tank. Don't think it can be helped. I'll just have to bring in a train when I'm down to 2,000 or something. Alright, so we'll need decider combinators, which are hiding in my inventory. Cunningly disguised as decider combinators. Okay, we'll need 1 there. We're going to need train requesters. We will need to wire good. Then this can be coal, this can be petroleum. So output 1 T when coal is less than, it stacks to 50, we have 8 slots, so that's 400. And then this will be fluids, petroleum gas, when petroleum gas is less than 1,000. Let's just set to 1,000. Output 1 U. Good. We have a powering issue there. That's pretty awesome. The schedule for this we can set now. Although I'm going to do that in a minute when we stamped these builds down. And then this is the last one. So let's wire this to that box. This will be active when red circuits is greater or equal to 8K. Because I think they stack in 200s. Good. And output 1. Right. Then this needs to be set whenever the train is less than T. Yeah, this needs to be set whenever trains are less than U. This needs to be set whenever trains is less than T. And then these are set correctly. Yeah, they are. Good. So it's just a question of scheduling now. So what I'd like to do is copy this build, and we're going to fill up this area with them. And then I'm going to go back and redo the train signaling. Because I've got a feeling this one isn't entirely straightforward. Okay. Copy that. I want to lose all the big power poles. And I want to lose all the signals. Don't want trains. I do want station names. Good. All right, let's start at the top and work down. So first thing, this is in the way. Okay. Moving it down one loses coverage, so it needs to be in here somewhere. So we'll work that out in a moment. Good. Let's put the radar back. I think that's as good a place as any. Right, now we would have one there. And then these would become 3. And I only needed 4 builds. I can't actually fit a 5th one in. All right, so then we need to work out signaling. So some of this is simple. And I'm not putting those in the right place. Let's try again. Some of that would be simple. So well, I'm really pleased about how these builds are going. When I started off this map, I wasn't sure if this kind of design was even possible in principle. So I am really pleased that they appear to work. With no idea in practice if they're going to scale well. But I guess that's all part of the fun, isn't it? Oh, I've just thought we might get station names pretty randomly assigned because of a random order of building. So I may have to go through and fix all the numbers anyway. Okay, so that's all done. Then we're going to need a chain signal at the bottom here. There. Right, now let's move that out the way. Because if the top one is built, I am going to set up train schedules and bring in the first of our materials. So this needs iron, it needs copper. So the copper train is copper wagon. And the iron train is iron wagon. You know you've designed these things correctly when they become routine. Okay, this is going to be red circuit assembly machine. This will be petroleum fluid wagon. And this will be coal cargo wagon. Good. Right, so these are the 111, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. It has actually worked. Very pleased. So I can start copying these schedules. And unfortunately, I have to actually copy them, which is a bit of an ache. So please, if you're watching, it would be nice to have a better way of copying schedules over from lamps other than copying them one by one. It's quite a bit of walking. Right. Was that the iron I just did? That's the other thing. I forget what I've done because my memory is not great. No, it's the iron that I needed to do. Let's try again. So, in other news, lockdown continues, homeschooling continues, but I actually got some useful work done this week, so I feel quite pleased about that. I'm learning neural networks because they're one of those things that happened in between me doing education and training and now. They sort of didn't really work when I was at university. They had promise, but no actual conversion of promise into working products. Whereas now they work. So I have spent the last 2 weeks really trying to get an understanding of how modern neural network stuff works. And it's been really good fun. But it has been the usual machine learning thing of they cheat in any possible way that they can exploit what you've asked them to do to achieve it without doing what you want them to do, they find a way. So that's been entertaining to be reminded, and in that way they're not entirely dissimilar from my children. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll have some proper results from the neural network work, and maybe even a little archive paper. I don't know, we'll see. Right, they're all set. So the schedules are set. We should be getting coal, iron and copper in, and we will need to set up schedules for petroleum and somewhere to park the red circuit train. But I think that is enough work for today. I can see we're going to have to set up a lot more trains to carry ore, because that's going to be a bottleneck. I assume it's going to be a bottleneck. But the next thing is to sort out refining. And the obvious place to do refining is down here in this area. And I think... Oh, that's flashing. Anyway, I think that is a job for next time, because this whole area here could turn into a refining complex. So I'm going to park my train over here. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I'm really enjoying this playthrough. It's a totally different pace. It's a different way of working. I hope you're enjoying it too. We're not going to be launching rockets anytime soon, but I guess, you know, we haven't got a time pressure at the moment. So I will see you again next time when we will get some refinery pub sub working. Till then, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.